What about working interest and midstream versus minerals? In a lot of respects, different buyers,
Yeah.
different return profile, different behavior. Some minerals don't have operations. Working interest does. Non-op is different. Do they all act in the same cadence, or do different things get hot at different times? Have you seen?
The mineral, I mean, 2020 and even into part of 2019, the typical kind of working interest, operated working interest market was a little bit stunted because you didn't have the kind of the end buyer. The publics were pulling back. They had enough inventory, they had enough drilling, they were being asked by investors to live within cash flow. All those things caused them to where the public, where a typical private equity company is building a product that a public company wants to buy. I mean, they're building a position, they're building their production, their inventory as kind of a gift wrap package to sell to a large publicly traded company. And that really wasn't happening, most of 2019 and 2020, besides the mega mergers with this distress. But it was really continuing to happen with the mineral space because there was Viper and because there was Kimball and Blackstone and all those companies and they were continuing to buy assets. And so the food chain kind of up the market continued to work. What we see as a little bit interesting is because the minerals and royalty space, and this, better than anyone, has become it's such a booming business. There's so many more companies. It's become institutionalized. The buyers are very sophisticated in their outreach to owners, to mineral owners, to have a kind of a buy side machine set up. Their evaluations to pay the right price and pay a price that makes sense is very sophisticated. The capital is there. We've seen that begin to transfer over into the non-operated working interest space, where that kind of same type of knowledge and practices that are used to identify owners of assets, to evaluate the assets, the capital for them is kind of shifting over, almost because they're kind of pushed out of the mineral space a little bit. They feel like they feel like it maybe is too competitive in certain instances in minerals, but they can get access to the same assets and the same investment type of opportunities in a non-operated working interest space. We found that, seen that quite a bit.
I'll echo that. There's non-op and royalty blended strategies, which
right.
makes sense when you see how they construct the risk profile and the cash flow profile of their portfolios. But when you have the option to do both, you can kind of pick and choose your spots when the market gets hot and cools down. And there's definitely some folks that have said, man, it's been really difficult. We've been priced out of the market on the mineral side, but there's some really good buys on the non-op side right now. Right. And I think it's just a function of when there's no CapEx calls for minerals, that's appealing to folks. The CapEx calls is, folks that are cash tight. It's just they're, right. They can't hold on to it. And so, we've
seen that market bifurcate a little bit, or just over the years bifurcate. Just there's certain buyers, whether royalty buyers or non-op buyers, that they just want to be partnered with a good operator. They want a steady stream of cash flow coming in. On the royalty side, they may be buying minerals before the drill bit, expecting big pops to happen. And then on the non-op side, they know that they have the deep enough pockets to run with the big boys, and they're ready to pony up their share of the AFE price, but they know that that's a risk reward and a good return on their investment.